So in the projection lesson, we learned about how to increase our breath pressure, increase our vocal projection, and we also learned more about how to create different dynamic volumes with our voice. So here are some simple ways that you can use those techniques in the context of a song. Let's take the song Hallelujah again for a minute. Now, there are various different sections or phrases in that song where we can use our dynamics, louds and softs, to create different emotional effects. The first phrase we're going to use as an example is this. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Okay, so notice how the volume was fairly consistent throughout that phrase. What about if I use the techniques described in the soaring crescendo exercise in the projection lesson and applied it to that entire phrase? For instance, instead of singing the entire phrase at the one volume, we could crescendo or gradually get louder throughout that phrase, which would increase the emotional intensity and help us better communicate the story to our audience. So that might sound something like this. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Okay? Notice how it sounded more powerful, like I was really pouring my heart into it? Now what about if we were to change the dynamic level after that point when we go into the chorus? So instead of staying at that volume, we could suddenly drop back to a much quieter volume when we sing hallelujah, hallelujah, etc. So this is what we would all sound like. This is what all of that would sound like together. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, so that's just a couple of examples of how changing the dynamic levels during or between phrases that really help bring your interpretation or connection with the song to your audience. Again, make sure that the phrases you get louder on are those that lend themselves to extra emphasis. These are mostly, but not limited to, phrases that ascend higher in pitch, longer notes that end a song like the end phrase in Time to Say Goodbye, for instance, which has a really long high note at the end. For example, so that's a great example of a soaring crescendo, okay? You can also use more or less volume on individual words that need more or less emphasis. But whatever you do, make sure that the meaning of the words is not lost, but rather given more life so that they hold more impact.